All right, in the war between Israel and Hamas, everyone is asking, how did Israel not see this coming?
Experts say Hamas's attack was an Israeli intelligence failure on multiple fronts. Now, as the war presses on, there are mounting concerns about security right here in the United States. Joining us right now, Jeh Johnson, former Secretary of Homeland Security and partner at Paul Weiss, Rifkin, Wharton, and Garrison. Nice to have you back here, Secretary. So, listen, we're kind of nervous. You know, we're monitoring social media, calls for action here in our country, on our land, in our city. What do we need to know? Because everybody's like, oh, we have no, new intelligence. Well, they didn't have intelligence in Israel either. And look what happened there.
They have terrific intelligence in Israel. Israel is one of the best intelligence capabilities in the world. Rosanna, my advice to New Yorkers today is do not be afraid. Do not run and hide. New Yorkers are tough, resilient people. The aim of the terrorist is to terrorize, is to make us all afraid. If we run and hide, they win. See something, say something has made a difference, can make a difference. We should all be vigilant in a time like this. And remember that we are protected by the best and largest police force in the nation. The Deputy Commissioner was just here. She talked about what the NYPD is doing. All those transit cops I see on the subway that have anti-terrorism unit on the back of their uniforms, they now have something to do other than write citations to fare beaters. But my overall message is, in times like this, do not be afraid. Do not run and hide. Go about your daily lives, but always be vigilant. If you see something, say something, can make a difference.
So have we compromised our country? We know that we've had millions and millions of people cross the southern border, some of them largely unvetted, although we do know in 2023, 151 migrants with positive terrorism watch list matches were apprehended, and that's up from 98 the year before, from 15 the year before that.
That's because the overall volume is up.
Right, exactly. So what have we let into New York City right now, and how should we be vigilant?
Of course, with these kinds of numbers entering our southern border, there was always a risk that some of them are bad people. For the most part, migrants crossing our southern border right now are desperate, helpless people trying to get a better life. There is always that risk. When I was Secretary of DHS, we made an enhanced effort to be able to identify potential terrorists before they even got close to the southern border by watching their travel patterns from one hemisphere to another. This is where we do have to be extra vigilant right now. Many counterterrorism experts would tell you, however, that the potential terrorist who might be lurking in this country needs to have some form of lawful presence to be able to go about their business. The 9/11 hijackers, for example, all had valid IDs before they did what they did.
Well, we give valid IDs to everybody now.
We give valid IDs to a lot of people.
To everyone.
That's correct.
Can I ask you about...
To come back to what I said before, we're protected by the best police force in the nation. The NYPD intelligence capability knows how to sort out the BS in social media versus something for which there should be a real concern. Social media is our best friend and our best enemy often. It does create hysteria, particularly among young people, teenagers who read this stuff, which is why so many schools now are telling parents, hey, think about taking your kids off of social media so they don't get caught up in the hysteria of the moment.
I think one figure and number that we are not talking about right now, which to me is probably the most scary, is the over 500,000 gotaways that have gotten to the country since Biden has been in office. And that's because we're spread thin at the border, but these people are getting in, they're not even coming in contact at ports of entry. So 500,000 people we don't know anything about. So how do you protect yourself from
most migrants who enter this country, whether they're gotaways or whether they're apprehended by the Border Patrol, are desperate, hungry, helpless people from Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Ecuador, Venezuela, escaping political corruption, oppression, and the like. We do have to be vigilant, however, and the FBI, the Department of Homeland Security, the NYPD have become very, very sophisticated in identifying potential terrorist threats, whether the population is 5,000 or 500,000. I have a lot of confidence in the capability of our people. What happened in Israel, the intelligence failure there, I'm sure will be studied for weeks and years from now. You cannot pull off a massive terrorist operation like that, breach the border between Gaza and Israel with aircraft, drones, without a lot of planning, without a lot of
But that's what
training
I think that's what worries us here, because you're saying the intelligence in Israel is so highly advanced. We have the same level of intelligence here. Is that a possibility to it happening to us here in our home front?
We had an intelligence failure 22 years ago on 9/11. The warning signs were there. I believe that particularly now in this heightened security environment, our intelligence people, the NYPD, at the federal level also, are being extra vigilant in watching what they see.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay, one last thought for people who are watching this morning, a little nervous to go out and do their normal day.
Right.
Your advice?
I still remember, and I'll always remember, I'll never forget, the day after 9/11, when I was in Lower Manhattan, I saw New Yorkers with masks on going to work. The day after the attack on the Pentagon, some of my former colleagues in the Pentagon went to work in the Pentagon. New Yorkers in particular, as I said before, are tough, resilient people. We can handle this. New Yorkers do not run and hide, and we're well protected. Always be vigilant. If you see something, say something. I know of instances where people called in a threat because they saw that if you see something, say something sign in the subways. It can make a difference.
Well, former Secretary of Homeland Security and now bigwig lawyer at a big shot law firm in New York City. But we always appreciate your guidance, and thank you so much for coming on Good Day New York.
Thanks for having me on.